Hey, General Hospital fans, buckle up because today's spoilers are absolutely wild. From shocking arrests to devastating secrets and unexpected returns, Port Charles is about to explode with drama. What strikes me most right now is how Willow has stepped into such a commanding role. She and Nina are putting serious pressure on Brennan to deliver solid evidence against Drew without delay. I remember when Willow first came onto the canvas as this sweet, somewhat innocent young woman finding her place in the world. Now she is orchestrating moves that could reshape power structures in town, and it feels both surprising and earned. The danger level spiked dramatically when Sidwell, the one supplying that paralyzing medication to keep Drew incapacitated, suddenly fled. Willow is right to be terrified that the supply could dry up at any moment. If Drew regains enough strength to speak with the police, everything they have worked for could crumble. I have seen storylines like this before, where a key witness or a hidden supplier disappears, and it always raises the stakes beautifully. In my opinion, this particular threat feels more urgent because it ties directly into Willow's future security and the fragile position she has built for herself. Brennan, for his part, insists he holds concrete proof that Drew has been embezzling federal funds. That kind of accusation carries enormous weight in Port Charles, where political and business scandals have toppled empires before. Yet, the complication is real. Drew is not fully recovered, and that lingering uncertainty makes their entire plan feel like it is balancing on a knife's edge. I appreciate how the show is letting these tensions breathe instead of rushing to resolution. It gives viewers time to feel the anxiety right alongside the characters. Personally, I think Brennan is playing a deeper game here. He has always struck me as someone who calculates several moves ahead, and his reluctance to rush may be strategic rather than hesitant. Willow will likely need to keep negotiating with him, perhaps offering more than she initially planned. That possibility opens so many fascinating doors. One scenario that has me particularly intrigued is the idea that Willow might agree to join the WSB and become an operative within the political sphere. Can you imagine? The same Willow who once focused on nursing and family, now stepping into international intrigue? It would mark a complete transformation for her character, and I believe it could be one of the most explosive developments in years. She has already shown intelligence and determination that go far beyond what people expected of her. Aligning with the WSB would give her resources and protection she desperately needs right now, but it would also pull her deeper into moral gray areas. I have mixed feelings about this path. On one hand, it excites me to see a younger character evolve into a true power player. On the other, I worry it might distance her from the emotional heart of the show that made us love her those quiet moments with family and personal growth. Still, soap operas thrive on reinvention, and this feels like the right time for Willow to break out. The new shock that has everyone talking, of course, is the emerging strategic partnership between Willow and Brennan. They seem to be forming an alliance that could change the balance of power in Port Charles. I keep asking myself how far this partnership will go. Will it remain purely professional, or are we heading towards something more personal and complicated? Their shared goals against Drew create a natural bond, but trust is always scarce in these circles. Watching them maneuver together has me on the edge of my seat, because every conversation seems loaded with subtext. In my long years of viewing, partnerships like this often lead to both great triumphs and heartbreaking betrayals. I suspect the writers are building towards something truly memorable here, and I cannot wait to see how Willow handles the pressure of balancing this new role with her existing relationships. Adding even more heat to the story is the developing connection between Valentine and Nina. They are shaping up to be a formidable power couple, the kind that can influence events from behind the scenes while maintaining public charm. Nina has always been a survivor who knows how to adapt, and Valentine brings that calculated intensity that makes him dangerous, yet compelling. Together they create a united front that makes Drew's potential return to full strength even more difficult. I have seen Nina fight for love and family many times, but this alliance feels different, more strategic, more about consolidating influence than just romance. It complicates everything for Willow too, since family ties are now intertwined with these larger schemes. Will Nina's loyalty remain with her daughter, or will the pull of power with Valentine shift priorities? These questions keep me coming back day after day. What I love most about these current arcs is how they force us to reconsider what we thought we knew about these characters. Drew has been through so much, and part of me still roots for him to recover and clear his name, or at least explain his side. Yet the evidence mounting against him, combined with the efforts to keep him sidelined, creates genuine suspense. I find myself wondering if justice will prevail, or if the web of influence will prove too strong. That uncertainty is the hallmark of great soap storytelling. It keeps longtime viewers like me invested, because we have seen heroes fall and villains redeem themselves countless times. This time feels especially layered because personal ambition collides with political corruption in such a believable way. I also appreciate how the show handles the medical elements without getting too technical. The paralyzing drug and Drew's slow recovery serve the drama perfectly. They allow time for characters to scheme and for viewers to speculate. Sidwell's disappearance adds that extra layer of unpredictability that prevents the story from feeling predictable. In my opinion, these kinds of external threats, fugitive suppliers, hidden evidence, shifting alliances remind us that no victory in Port Charles is ever secure. Willow's fear is palpable and relatable. Any mother or daughter watching can understand the drive to protect one's future at almost any cost. Looking ahead, I sense we are on the verge of major revelations. Will Willow fully commit to the WSB path? And what price will she pay? How will Valentine and Nina's growing power affect the larger canvas? Can Brennan be trusted as a true partner, or does he have his own hidden agenda? These questions create that wonderful anticipation that makes General Hospital appointment television for so many of us. I have watched through eras when the show leaned heavily into action, romance, or family drama, and right now it feels like a perfect blend of all three. The pacing is tight, the character motivations feel authentic, and the potential for heartbreak or triumph is enormous. One thing I have learned after decades of loyalty is that the best stories challenge our loyalties. I may not always agree with Willow's choices, but I understand them. Her evolution from quiet observer to active participant in high-stakes games shows real growth. Nina's journey toward this powerful pairing with Valentine also feels earned after everything she has endured. Even Brennan, with his enigmatic presence, adds texture that keeps the canvas vibrant. As for Drew, his recovery remains the wild card that could upend everything. I find myself hoping he finds a way back, not just for his sake, but because conflict like this enriches every relationship in town. What adds another layer of worry is Cullum. Even as Brennan maneuvers in the shadows, Cullum continues with these new dangerous actions that prove he is completely obsessed. It is as if some fresh fixation has taken hold, driving him to risk everything. I remember similar obsessions in the past that started small but exploded into chaos for families like the Quartermains and the Spencers. This time, Cullum's behavior feels more unpredictable, and it is clearly feeding into the larger troubles brewing. In my opinion, this obsession is not just a side story, it is fuel for the fire Brennan is stoking. It proves that the dangers are multiplying, and no one in town is truly safe. The new troubles emerging feel especially heavy. Brennan is taking fresh actions that hint at a much darker plan than we first realized. He is not merely helping Willow and Nina pressure others. He seems to be weaving a web designed for maximum impact. The evidence he claims to hold against Drew is only part of it. I suspect his real intentions run deeper, perhaps involving control over key players in Port Charles politics and beyond. This dark plan of his is already delivering new shocks that leave me breathless. One moment we think alliances are forming for protection, and the next we realize they might lead straight into disaster. That is what keeps me coming back, the constant sense that everything could change in a single episode. I have to admit, these twists have me torn. On one hand, I admire how Brennan brings intelligence and charm to his schemes. He is not some brute. He is strategic, which makes him far more threatening. Yet I worry deeply about the collateral damage. Willow, already navigating her potential new role with the WSB, could find herself trapped in something far more sinister than she bargained for. Her partnership with Brennan started as a strategic necessity, but now it feels laced with peril. Will she recognize the warning signs in time, or will his influence pull her deeper into moral quicksand? These questions keep me awake at night thinking about the next episodes. Meanwhile, the connection with Valentine and Nina as a rising power couple adds even more complexity. Their growing strength might be the only counterbalance to Brennan's moves, but it also creates fresh conflicts. If Brennan's dark plan succeeds in part, it could spark disasters that test every relationship in town. I have seen disasters before, explosions, betrayals, medical crises, but this one feels personal and political at the same time. Sidwell's disappearance already heightened the stakes, and now with Cullum's obsessive actions feeding the chaos, it seems we are barreling toward a major confrontation. What fascinates me most is how these elements prove that Port Charles is never static. Brennan's new actions are not random. They feel like the beginning of a carefully orchestrated storm. His dark plan is delivering shocks that challenge everything we thought we knew about loyalty and ambition. Will Drew recover enough to fight back before it is too late? Can Willow balance her ambitions without losing herself? And where does Cullum's dangerous obsession ultimately lead? These unfolding troubles make the show feel alive and urgent.